Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back to Wall Street Silver. Our guest today is the CEO of SD Bullion, Tyler Wall. Welcome back, sir.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
So Tyler, hey, I apologize for my lighting. I'm in a hotel room, so the audience knows it's really
Romantic.
It's romantic and dark here. So I'm just apologize for my lighting. So don't tell me about, or you can tell me about it in the comments. But hey, Tyler, thanks for joining us. You know, there's something big in the news right now. The rumor has it that some billionaire just bought 900,000 American Eagles. All right. You know, you're deep in this market. We're not going to say who, what, you know, there's a lot of speculation. No one's really positive yet who it is. But, you know, what would it take to source 900,000 American Eagles in this market? You know, you do this for a living. If you got that kind of order, could you fill it?
Wow. You know, that's an extremely tough question because, you know, I would say that, you know, first off, SD in a normal market occupies roughly 10% or so of all US Mint Silver Eagle sales. So we tend to have a pretty close relationship to understand what that market looks like on a daily basis. 2022 current year Silver Eagle products, that would be extremely tough, if not impossible, if it was a current year product. I mean, if you look at the US Mint production sales over the last several months, you know, last month, the US Mint produced 900,000 Silver Eagles. So a 900,000 ounce order of Silver Eagles for the current year would be the entire month. And there's just no way you're going to be able to source the entire month from every other, you know, dealer distributor out there, including, you know, stealing them from me. Because, you know, we have orders for at least several 100,000 over the next month that are secured. And those are already spoken for. So this month, US Mints minted 450,000. And, you know, we're being told by, you know, our mint sources that the allocations are not going up. They're actually going down for the rest of the year. And allocations have pretty much been decided throughout the rest of this year. So it would be an extremely tough thing to do, would be to source or sign up for in order to fulfill that many. I mean, I'm not taking that order SD Bullion unless, you know, I have some sort of, I don't think I would take that order. I don't feel comfortable enough to fill that order.
If someone came at you with, you know, a billionaire and said, hey, I want to buy $20 million worth, or right. You know, so the rumor has it that was a $50 million order,
right?
The 900,000 American Eagles. What's the largest size order you'd feel comfortable, like, I can make that happen?
If we had the choice of products, we could fill that order.
But you'd be pushing like you'd be pushing some Krugerrands or Phillies,
right?
Some
yeah, I would say a mixture of sovereign mint coins, 1,000 ounce bars, 100 ounce bars, 10 ounce bars. There's actually a decent amount of 100 ounce bars right now still in the market. Sovereign mint coins would even be tough of that size. You know, be able to fill the entire thing with sovereign mint coins. And you know, we're starting to see shortages in the gold eagle market. I mean, there was you know, over the last week or two, the sales have been off the charts. I mean, approaching record levels again. And you know, previously it was mostly silver that was really in short supply. We'd see 3 to 4 week. You know, for a time we saw 6 to 8 week lag times, and when we'd actually place the order till when we'd actually receive the silver in our inventory. Right now we're about 3 to 4 weeks, so we're going back. Actually, it came down, and then we're going back to 3 to 4 weeks. It's getting worse. And gold, for really the first time, notably in the last 2 years, we're seeing gold eagles extremely short supply. I mean, I think the premiums that we're paying right now have doubled over the last 3 to 4 weeks on what it takes to buy them in the market, and some of the allocations are so tiny. I remember seeing one of the price indication sheets, an offer to buy some gold eagles, and they said limit 2 tubes. And I'm like, what's 2 tubes? Like, how long is that gonna last? Like a couple of minutes? Like, it's gone. Yeah. So I mean, we're starting to see and gold and starting to get tight too. So back to your question, I mean, it would have to be a mixture of your products. We could fill no doubt fill a $50 million order. And, if I could pick the products, it would, and if I could pick the products, it would basically be live. I mean, I think we could, if we pick the products. Now, if we filled that one order though, live, I mean, how much inventory am I going to have for the rest of the customers? I don't think I want to do that. So I might put them on a little bit of a delay so I can make sure that our current customer base is taken care of. But right. I don't know if that answers your question, but the 1,000 ounce, the 100 ounce bar market, the 10 ounce bar market, those markets are still in okay shape. 1,000 ounce bars, we're still able to get those. And we've been selling a lot. I mean, we've been selling at least 30 a week. So
1,000 ounce bars?
1,000 ounce bars. Yeah.
Wow.
So
those are basically Comex bars, right?
Right. And part of that demand's me, because I've been buying 1,000 ounce bars in the last couple of weeks. But yeah, we're selling a lot of those. And overall, the physical market's just extremely tight. 90% silver. It's never been tighter. I mean, we're paying $7-8 at least over spot to source 90% silver in volume, I would say. And we're seeing retail premiums approach 10 in that market. So that's usually a leading indicator, 90% silver market, and how tight the physical supply is, and it's right now physical supply.
Well, we're seeing gold down in the low 1,700 areas spot. Right. And we're seeing silver below 19 lately. It's in the $18 range. And do you get the sense that people are like, holy cow, it's on sale? I'm backing up the truck right now.
No, yeah, we're definitely seeing that. I mean, we're having to go internationally to source the gold. We are purchasing in bulk, and we're importing the gold from overseas, and we weren't doing that a year ago. I mean, this is something brand new that's required of this market. And, pretty much, for a while, obviously the gold was, the precious metal market was kind of moving to the east, but now it's drastically coming back to us, and we're having to import a lot of the gold production, gold bars and stuff, Volcambi, that sort of mints. We're having to import all that stuff from overseas. It's just not enough here domestically to fulfill all the demand that we're seeing.
So Tyler, a lot of bullion dealers like yourself, you also, not only do you sell, but you offer to buy from customers. That's one of your sources for obtaining supply. So are you paying above spot? I mean, is it at that point where dealers are paying above spot to, customers like ourselves?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the misconceptions I think in the marketplace. I've watched some podcasts, recently, and specifically the coin shops. The people were talking about, coin shops, they're going to the coin shop, and somehow the price came down in the market, and the people are being offered prices below spot to buy back because somehow there's a washout in the precious metal market. But what we're seeing is totally opposite. The online bullion dealers, like ourselves, we're offering substantial amount over spot to buy back, whether that be a silver round, whether that be a 90% silver, or whether that be a silver eagle, and even on some on the gold side, the gold eagles, gold maples. So those prices have increased substantially how much we're offering to pay back if somebody calls us up and says, hey, I'm looking to sell. We're just not seeing any of those calls right now happen. I mean, nobody is, unless you're desperately needing cash. We've have had some of those customers that have been hanging on for so long and expecting the precious metal market, to kind of turn around and prices to go back up. Some of those have said, hey, look, I need money. Like, I have to meet my needs. I have to pay this bill. Right. Can I sell you some? And we've seen some of those calls, but we're not seeing anybody call us up just because we're offering a higher price over spot, because at the end of the day, nobody's still interested. They're not selling. Yeah. So we're not seeing too many of those calls.
Yeah. I'm never going to sell. I mean, I don't care what happens to this market. I don't care if it goes to 12. I don't care if it goes to 50. I don't care if it goes to 100. I'm probably not selling my silver.
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys where I'm a buyer only of physical silver. I'm not a seller.
Yeah. And you guys know, I'm very interested, and I'm a silver bug myself. it's very interesting to look at the precious metal prices and where they're at right now, with gold, playing around 1700, and silver, which is my favorite metal, 18. I guess it's going, just under, 18. And I just keep thinking, you look at the highs, we were like 30, it was at 30 roughly around the Russian invasion, and it's down maybe 40% from its highs. And then you have the stock market, which is only down like 20% from its highs. And then I go back and look at the different market collapse scenarios, whether that be 2008 or maybe a little bit in 2020, and it feels like precious metals should be going up. I mean, it doesn't seem proportional to the drop in the stock market that precious metals have seen. And I think this is misconception, and it's been in place for quite some time. When I went back, and the Federal Reserve has a history lesson, like they learned something from the 1970s and 1980s event, where there was a major inflation crisis, which today I'd argue that our inflation crisis now is even worse.
Right.
But they say they actually learned something. Like they say that maybe going away from being backed by gold was a good thing, and they say that they understand that their data's got to be good, because their data back in 1970s was so manipulated. It was wrong. It was underestimating the actual inflation rate at the time. And you go back to today, it's like, well, we're underestimating the inflation by at least twofold. If you just look at the home ownership equivalent rent that they incorporate into like 1/3 of the CPI, score, the CPI rate. So, to me, it's just this common thing of people not understanding economics. I mean, we're seeing some people get familiar with economics through cryptocurrencies, but still a lot of people falling for the same, scams that have been around for quite some time, but by offering, say, a 6 or 7% interest on nothing, and then wondering why a company goes bankrupt because somehow they can't pay 6 or 7% on a token. Like, how are they paying you 6 or 7% on a token when the Federal Reserve rate is at 0, and there's no safe return on 6 or 7%. There's no way they can make money on 6 or 7%. Right. So that's a definition of a Ponzi scam when you get into that. But yet look how many people have fallen for those things, and we're seeing just some of the wealth evaporate through those initiatives. And so I think in part, what we've seen recently with cryptocurrencies and some of those things, they're educating people on thinking about economics, but yet we're still not there to the part why they understand why precious metals are the superior store of value. And I think we'll get there, but they still don't understand that overall.
A new generation is being educated on what Ponzi schemes are.
Right.
With Terra Luna and Celsius, right, and all these things blowing up. And
I think we're getting close.
Yeah, you listen to the Bitcoin maximalists, and they're like, yeah, all the shit coins need to just let them all blow up. But right. And I guess the big washout will be Tether, if Tether ever blows up.
Yeah.
I don't want this to be we're not a crypto channel, and I don't want to get into a crypto bashing scene here.
Bash them.
No.
We do a little trolling. It's called We Do a Little Trolling.
We're not, because a lot of our guys do some cryptos or Bitcoin. Right. And at the same time are stackers, so I don't want to.
Yeah, which I don't have a problem with. We have a lot of customers in that boat, and for me, there is some advantages. Cross-border payments is one that I kind of like, but it's just, for me, it's the we looked into some of these things with the crypto space, and we might get there. We accept cryptocurrency through precious metals. But on SD Bullion. But I think one of the things I can never get over is just the gas fees. But that's a side topic. But the gas fees, I can never find a product that I had to pay. Like Ethereum, for example. It's like, why am I paying 0.5% or 1% to move tokens around? I couldn't fathom that fee. So like I said, we have lots of customers in the same boat that you're outlining, where it's maybe they have some in cryptos and a larger percent in precious metals, and they sell their precious metals and they move to cryptos, and I can see some of the strategies there. So
the the one question I always like to ask guys like you when I'm interviewing is what's the best value sovereign mint coin out there? Because everyone knows the American Silver Eagles are crazy premiums right now.
Right.
So if we're just talking sovereign mints, which that's what I prefer to buy because they're most recognizable, would you say Canadian Maple Leaf, Britannias, Phillies, Silver Krugerrands, or Kangaroos? Which one's like the best value closest to spot right now?
Yeah, right now I'd say at least with us, we have a sale on Silver Philharmonics, I believe, right now. So I'd pick that one, but I would really almost classify into 3 tiers. Like the Silver Eagle is the top tier. It's an extremely high premium right now. I'm not looking to buy any Silver Eagles right now. It's gone up, 30 or 40% premium in the last 3 weeks. We were starting to see that come down a little bit, but even when it was coming down, it was still too expensive for me. The second tier would be like a silver maple. And I think that's still a little bit high. You might be looking at $7, $8, paying for a maple right now. And then the third tier is where I like to be at right now in this market, which is the Philharmonics, Britannias, Kangaroos. I like all of those. I consider them all very similar. So if I'm going to compare those 4 different products in that bracket, I'm just going to pick the one that is on special in that product. So 90% silver still it's my favorite product, but it's still too expensive right now as well.
No, I love the those 6 sovereign mint coins, the major ones, especially like the Krugerrands and the Phillies. Those are my favorite because frankly I don't want the one with the queen on them. I like the sovereign mint coins that don't have the queen on them.
Yeah,
that's my personal preference. But, anyways, Tyler, thanks for joining us and giving us an update on the market. You're always a very popular CEO to have on the channel. Your videos are always some of our top performing ones. So we love having you back, and we'll do it again in a few months to get an update on what's going on in the market.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me on, guys. Keep up the great work.